Oh, Alan, a rare moment of clarity. You're telling me life isn't about being happy? Wow. Alert the media. Someone finally cracked the code. Now do me a favor. Go tell the millions of people who spend their entire existence chasing happiness like it's a golden ticket to an easy life. Because here's the truth no one wants to hear. Happiness is not the point of life. It never was. If it were, then explain why people with money, fame, relationships, and everything they ever wanted still feel empty inside. Oh, right, because happiness is temporary, fleeting, and unreliable as hell. Now that we've established that, let's talk about what actually matters. Step 1. Stop treating happiness like a destination. We're all taught to believe that the ultimate goal in life is to be happy. And yet, here we are, stressed, frustrated, and running into one problem after another. Every time we think we've made it, life finds a new and exciting way to mess things up. There's always some office drama, some family issue, some financial setback, or just a general sense of existential dread creeping up at night. But instead of just accepting that life is an ongoing circus, we make things worse by believing that this messiness is somehow unnatural. Not only are we unhappy, but we're unhappy about being unhappy. We convince ourselves that we've failed at life just because we don't feel like a walking Pinterest quote 24/7. Step 2. Happiness is overrated. Try meaning. Instead, you know what's worse than being unhappy? Thinking that unhappiness is proof you're doing life wrong. Maybe, just maybe, being a little bit miserable is part of the deal. Maybe a good life isn't about being happy. It's about being interesting, insightful, and a little bit emotionally wrecked. The people who chase happiness like it's a prize are usually the most miserable ones. Meanwhile, the people who focus on meaning, learning, and growth actually get somewhere. Why? Because they're not obsessed with feeling good. They're obsessed with doing something that matters. Step 3. Stop running from discomfort like a fragile porcelain doll. Oh no, life got a little hard. Must be time to quit, right? Maybe retreat into some self-care bubble where everything is safe, easy, and free of challenges. Let me tell you something. Discomfort is where life actually happens. If your life has no struggle, no failures, no moments of chaos, guess what? You're not living. You're just existing in some emotionally padded prison where nothing ever challenges you. The people who make something of their lives don't waste time avoiding difficulties. They lean into them. They realize that the struggle is what shapes them. And guess what? You'll survive. Step 4. Learn to find pride in the chaos. You ever notice how the people who have the most interesting lives are also the ones who have the most messy, complicated, and often ridiculous experiences? That's because they're out there actually doing things. Sure, they might not be happy in the traditional sense, but they have something even better, a life worth talking about. Think about it. Maybe you're constantly anxious, but hey, at least your brain is working harder than most people's. Maybe your relationships are a disaster, but at least you have stories to tell. Maybe your career isn't a straight path, but at least you're not bored out of your mind. Happiness isn't the only way to measure a good life. Maybe being a little bit exhausted and slightly traumatized is the price of a life well lived. Step 5. Accept that peace is overrated. You know what's peaceful? A rock. You want to be a rock? No emotions, no ambition, no ups and downs. Didn't think so. We have this idea that life should be calm, predictable, and endlessly joyful. But guess what? That's not life. That's retirement in a coma. The reality is that life is full of friction, uncertainty, and occasional emotional chaos. And that's okay. The more you resist this, the more miserable you'll be. The sooner you accept the madness, the sooner you'll actually start living instead of just waiting for everything to feel perfect. So, Alan, you're right. Life isn't about being happy. It's about growth, purpose, and doing things that matter, even when they suck. If you're still out here chasing happiness, good luck, because you'll be chasing it forever. The real winners in life are the ones who understand that happiness isn't the goal. It's just a side effect of doing something worthwhile. Or you can keep scrolling for another feel-good video telling you happiness is a choice while doing absolutely nothing to change your life. Your call.